Okay.
Let's put that in your shirt pocket or clip to your shirt pocket or whatever we can do with it.
All right.
Probably some graduates on their way to Europe.
Okay.
So, there you are.
Thank you.
Let's play this quickly because it's going to be time. Now, go ahead and start. Whatever speed you want to go. Yeah, that's good. We got time to sneak in. got yours situated. One, two, three, action.
Made this day possible. Our families, our friends, faculty, staff, the benevolent many, also who are unknown to us, the very structure of our society that nurtures all this good. And when the sounds of fanfare fade, when solitude becomes burden and success turns sour, give us the strength, the resilience, the inspiration daily still to be faithful to the truth that we are meant for excellence and that our neighbor deserves nothing less. May all this indeed be so. Amen.
All right, I'm zooming in on President.
Welcome to the 179th commencement at Wabash College. Our spirits shine brightly as we celebrate the men of the class of 2018. We are joined here today by our special guests on the platform and by trustees, faculty, family members from near and far, and all who love Wabash College. For those of you, there's a live stream out there. We can wave the cameras. And for those of you who find the heat too oppressive, Hayes 104, the building off to my right, is available if you want to find and watch the commencement on live stream. But today's focus is on our students, the 199 men who make up the graduating class of 2019. Gentlemen, you have taken on the rigors of our college and have thrived under the many challenges you have faced. You have emerged stronger for your perseverance, resilience, and courage. You have been teachers, listeners, learners. You have grown and embodied the highest ideals of our gentleman's rule, and you have demonstrated the great value of civic discourse in our democratic society. Your hard work has paid off. You leave our great college to work for excellent firms, to medical and law schools, to pursue advanced degrees in science and humanities at exceptional universities, and to exciting opportunities to serve our country and as teachers in our schools. Among you are All-Americans and academic All-Americans, and a couple of you who won the NCAC championship yesterday. Athletes and recipients of international fellowships. Your singing, acting, filmmaking, and artistic creativities knows no boundaries. Some of you have facilitated difficult discussions at the local, state, regional, and national level. Others have played roles in critical public health issues. Men of the class of 2018, we are proud of you, and we know that you are equipped for lives of purpose and meaning. You leave your alma mater prepared to flourish, to be the men your liberal arts education has informed you to be, and to write your stories in the sky. In keeping with the long-standing Wabash tradition, the only speakers this afternoon will be representatives of the senior class. Our first speaker is Jared Cunningham, who is a theater major and music and chemistry minor. Jared had leading roles in many theater productions and was active in the Glee Club, Tau Kappa Epsilon, and the golf team. A Phi Beta Kappa graduate, Jared will attend medical school this fall. He is the son of Melissa and Timothy Cunningham. Our second speaker is Ephraim Shadid, who is a political science major and business and French minor. Ephraim was an officer in his fraternity, Phi Delta Theta, and vice president of the Interfraternity Council. He is a member of the Sphinx Club and is the son of Elizabeth Dyer and Elias Shadid. Each young man will speak without further introduction. Please welcome Jared and Ephraim.
Good afternoon, Wabash. Just a quick reshuffling here. I'm gonna go first because that's what I was told. Yeah. Before we get started, I'd like to personally reach out and thank all the amazing and wonderful women out in the crowd today, for raising the amazing young men you've allowed to rub off on me and be my comrades here at Wabash. You're such powerful women, and thank you. And happy Mother's Day. I'd also like to take this time at arguably the largest moment of my life to dedicate this address to arguably my largest role model ever. That's my grandfather, whose name I bear proudly, Ephraim. Ephraim, Awushdid, this one is for you. So, brothers of the class of 2018, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and faculty, welcome to the 179th Wabash Commencement. Words cannot describe what an honor it is to be standing in front of you all today. 4 years ago, when I was a high school senior frequenting the Lebanese nightlife scene and the mile-high mountains of the Cedars of the North, right here, baby, if you had told me I might have a chance to speak at such a momentous occasion, I probably would have just asked you if you'd had one too many. Alas, here we stand, and I could not be more proud to look over such a great and bright crowd. Growing up in Lebanon, 3,500 some odd miles away, college in the American sense and the experiences that came with it were something I had only experienced through movies. Fraternity life, baseball games, and a rigorous higher education were all intangibles to me growing up in high school. However, my mother, Elizabeth Dyer, gotta love her, filled my childhood with stories of Wabash. Stories about the football team making it to the Stag Bowl back in the 80s, the astronomical significance of the bell game, ding ding, and how nobody but seniors could sit on the bench. All this was to say that Wabash sounded like an American college dream experience, but who knew if I'd get a chance to experience it. I was not the most driven high school student in my younger years, leading to and through it. School was boring, and all I usually thought about was the next party or my next ski adventure. Struggling to make it to my last year of school, things were still not changing. As my senior year approached and college had to be considered, I sat back and watched while all my fellow classmates applied to the same American University of Beirut or the Lebanese American University, while I hoped for greater and grander things and decided to take a chance and apply abroad. Wabash just held so much more to be desired than any of the options left in Lebanon. Universities back home were simply just like high school with harder schooling, but you still slept in your same bed, still ate mom and pop's cooking every night, and you still went out and saw the same people. There wasn't any external growth. It was just academics. That was it. When the time came to apply to Wabash, I took my chance and my family and I said our prayers. Around a month later, news of my acceptance brought tears to my mother's eyes. I remember it was a Tuesday when I got the call of my mom crying tears of joy. The tone of her voice carried a sense of happiness so grand that I could have sworn the sun did get brighter that Tuesday night. Her son was now going to be a little giant. Knowing her, she's probably crying right now. Actually, scratch that, she definitely is. So, there's that. God blessed me with amazing parents and family that never gave up on me. And on that day, someone other than them had taken a chance and had faith in me. Someone, or someplace rather, had to take that chance, was willing to send it on the kid who came out of high school with a GPA that began with an even number that was not a 4. Yeah. That chance has changed my life forever, and it would always be a cornerstone of my life. My fraternity brothers over at Phi Delta Theta, PDT, then took a chance and rushed this foreign kid who could not get sarcasm, was extremely particular about the way he dressed, and was, believe it or not, very foreign in his thinking and attitude. I wonder why. I remember my first Thursday morning in Phi Delta House when I woke up to find the usual eggs and hot dogs and sausages were not available for breakfast. Instead, it was this white sauce with meat in it that smelled like warm milk. And to this day, I do not understand how biscuits and gravy is a breakfast meal. Just don't do it. My second year here saw another chance take on me as I was accepted into the Sphinx Club. After I joined the club, I asked senior members about my interview. I was told that members had voiced concerns about my attendance record and if I'd be able to maintain a solid grade point average throughout the rigors of Rhineship. To that point, a senior member at the time stood and said, the kid has a 3.2, whatever he's doing must be working, so give the kid a chance. And so it was that I embarked on the most enjoyable semester of my college career. These examples are unique to myself. For my Wabash experience, unless anyone else is a Lebanese Phi Delta Sphinx Club member out there, give me a shout out, because I don't know any others. However, they do share one prevalent theme, a common dogma, if you will. Chance. All these chances, all these times people, groups, and I have sent it, have helped me have a college career that I would not exchange for anything in this world. Over my time at Wabash, challenges and point of vulnerability have served not as weaknesses, but as new chances for me to send it and grow in ways I could never imagine. The window for opportunity this campus presents us with is endless. It begins the minute you set foot on campus and almost never ends. I'd like to mention a quote from one of the greatest aviators of all time, Charles Lindbergh. Quote, "What kind of a man would live where there is no daring? I don't believe in taking foolish chances, but nothing can be accomplished without taking any chance at all." End quote. When choosing the title of this address, Send It came to mind for two reasons. The first was that it is arguably the most accurate description of my mindset. The second was to avoid the use of verbose language, which my rhyme brother Jade Doty claims I use too often. Thanks. By send it, I mean taking calculated risks, taking noble chances. As a quote previously mentioned, I'm not talking about foolish chances. The foolish send it that lands you in your Econ through Excel final with a Cactus Long Island hangover. I don't advise it. It's a rough time. I'm talking about the smaller, more finite decisions. Chances that were taken on me have helped me find the deepest friendships, most meaningful experiences, and have taught me more about myself than almost anything. When you take a chance on someone or yourself, you give him or her strength. You instill in yourself or them a sense of belief, of inner conviction that may not have been there or may just have needed a little kick to get rolling. As with everything in life, nobody's perfect, and no decision is a guaranteed success. Sometimes we send it and end up with an outcome that we did not expect or may not have wanted. But this only means that we have learned something, and you can never learn enough. Gentlemen, as we depart our beloved Wabash, we will be faced with decisions each and every day. Some will be good, some will inherently not work out. It is the mindset of sending it that when carried into these situations will allow you to move forward and push hard. We are taught that Wabash always fights, and that always means always. Take chances, be daring, be bold, be true, and be strong. To come in and encourage those around you to be all these things and more is a gift that our wonderful Wabash, its faculty, its staff, and our fellow brothers have imparted on us. I'm reminded of all the meaningful relationships I have developed by sending it. By talking to that guy in the weight room, who soon became one of my closest friends, by asking freshmen how they're doing and giving them words of encouragement as they face the rigors of Wabash and pledgeship, only to know that one day when I return to this lovely campus, I will be greeted with open arms and warm, unadulterated enthusiasm. These are things not required of us, but by sending it, we strive to better the energy in our environments and leave them not the same, not worse, but better than they were when we first entered them. As I close this chapter in my life, I look to the future with excitement. To send it, to bring the attitude for growth and success that Wabash has instilled in me. We are all about to send it into our different areas of life because someone or someplace has taken a chance on us. Wabash took a chance on all of us, some more than others. It is up to us to start taking chances on individuals around us. Reach out to people who are different than you, giving them that energy and self-belief that this place has instilled in you and me. As we gather here today, I'm sure we could all agree, those off-the-cuff moments of interaction with our Wabash brothers make up some of our fondest memories. For some, it might be discussing the views of the mall or the views of the world in relation to Wabash on the mall. For others, it might be the last couple calls of a football game. For me personally, sitting around listening to Country Roads by John Denver and having lively conversations really takes the cake. So, my fellow Wabash men, How might we send it, you ask? Go into your workplace and attend that meeting that might seem upper level. Ask for help from the guy in the office or cubicle next to you that you might think is way ahead of you or way behind you. Have faith in yourself and the people we interact with and their humanity as human beings, and do not regard them simply as another X or Y or dot or square in a spreadsheet. These are just a few simple examples, as it is important to clarify this point. Sending it is an attitude rather than a specific action, a mindset rather than an exact formula. Wabash has sent it on all of us, and now it's our turn. And while these 4 years may have been fleeting, those moments that I look back on and know I sent it, those moments will last a lifetime. Roll, Rhymes, roll. Damn glad I'm a Phi. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Wabash, and congratulations again to the class of 2018. Another happy Mother's Day as well to all the moms here today. For the last few weeks, I haven't been able to stop thinking about what a wild ride this whole liberal arts thing was. At times, it just felt like a title to give the Wabash experience, but really it was and will continue to be the most important part of my education. The reason for this is the inherent expectation to continually leave one's comfort zone and focus on ideas that might be entirely foreign. When I chose to major in theater while following a pre-med track, I opened a rabbit hole of questions from my friends and family back home. I was met many times with the classic question, "What are you going to do with that?" You all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The assumption that a fine arts or non-conventional major is a death sentence. Shockingly, they don't make you take a vow of poverty when you major in theater. You can, surprisingly, get a job when you study the arts. Anyway, I told them that I would study theater and music while taking the classes required for medical school. I don't know if they were entirely convinced, but that's what I did. My experience having to explain the liberal arts is not particularly unique, as it seems that the liberal arts are not fully understood from an outside perspective. However, more and more, they're being called for due to the emerging multidisciplinary problems within our society. My fiancée and I recently attended a lecture at, if you'll pardon my French, DePaul. The lecture was given by Dr. David Hansen of Hansen Robotics, who created the super intelligent and human-like robot Sophia that has now been granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia. The lecture was very insightful, though a bit troubling, I'll admit. Dr. Hansen and his team project that robots will be advanced enough to perform nearly all manual labor tasks in 10 to 20 years. Essentially, robots will replace human employees. At first, this was both exciting and quite frightening. Who will survive in a climate where robots are taking jobs? This question had a fascinating answer. Hansen Robotics is looking to recruit employees trained in the liberal arts, as they were the most capable of solving the ethical and moral problems that would likely emerge from such a system. These graduates are irreplaceable. For us, this should be tremendously encouraging. The challenges of Wabash seem to be worth it. Down the line, it may be your Buddhism class with Dr. Blix, or a Latin seminar with Dr. Kubiak that will be pivotal in solving a complex problem, not due to the specifics, but rather the frequent exposure to different ways of thinking that has now provided you invaluable skills for life. I know that seems far-fetched, but many times it's the breadth of what we have to offer that defines us. I'm sure my fellow soon-to-be medical students will echo my sentiments in saying that our medical school interviews were not about medicine at all. Personally, they asked me about music, theater, my experiences in Peru. I was even asked to sing an aria from La Boheme in one of them. Because surely it's important to patients that you be able to sing Puccini, right? Now, I'm by no means saying that you don't need to have the qualifications on paper. You all have the qualifications, we know that. But it's your unique set of skills that will make you irreplaceable. Liberal arts students are diverse and able to think critically from many different standpoints. This makes us incredibly precious assets. So, if you're still not convinced that studying the liberal arts was for your best benefit, look at it this way. You'll still have a job after robots take over the world. The liberal arts, as we've all come to understand, present the tremendous challenges of being intellectually flexible. With this, there were the notorious distribution requirements outside your major, and classes that have freshmen shuddering as they create their 4-year plan. Having braved organic chemistry and some of the other bone-chilling examples, it may surprise you to hear that my most challenging class occurred in the Fine Arts Center. It was senior seminar in theater with Dr. Cherry. As I always like to say, anyone who thinks theater is easy has never taken a class with Jim Cherry. Actually, when I pitched my initial senior project to him, he absolutely tore it apart, ripped it to shreds. In hindsight, it was absolute garbage, but that's beside the point. Anyway, he looked at me and said, "Make something that relates to you, not what you think other people want to see." How appropriately vague, right? Well, that's what I did, or tried to do. I wrote a piece of documentary theater that revolves around healthcare in the United States on the brink of an insurance reform. I'm still not convinced that it's any good or that anyone will care to see it. However, I am pleased to say that the play will premiere at the Indianapolis Fringe Festival this summer. So, if it crashes and burns, people will have at least paid to take a look. What resonates with me most out of this process was putting the play together. Dr. Cherry pushed me entirely out of my comfort zone and challenged me in a way that is unparalleled at my time at Wabash. I was blending journalism, theater, public health, sociology, and medicine while having to address the immense ethical concerns associated with interviewing real people and asking for their medical stories. We seldom had answers to the questions we have, and no one was really there to point us in one direction or another. You know, you may have bit off a bit more than you can chew when the professor says, "I don't know if we'll ever be able to answer that." I know this may not sound all that bad now, but it was like comps on overdrive. Problems were arising one after another, and the solutions were about more than just theater. I tell you about this experience for a few different reasons. First off, I think it's very important that we as liberal arts students pay each field and course of study its due. That's one of the reasons that the liberal arts are so important. Our system treats each pursuit with equal respect because of their importance to intellectual formation. However, I think we as students too often have judged or diminished certain disciplines. We're all guilty of it at one point or another. We thought that certain majors were harder or easier than others and that some were more viable. I really caution you to avoid that line of thinking in the future. There are so many things that we don't know, and we will many times have to look to other disciplines for support. These differences make us neither superior nor inferior to each other. Rather, they round us out as critical thinkers and expose us to the idea that no man is an island. We are all about to graduate from Wabash College. We all have Bachelor of Arts written on our diploma, have had to take the same number of distribution requirements, and have the same general education. You see, we have far more similarities than we do differences, regardless of which division of study our major fell into. It's unfortunate, but many times the divisions may have divided us in a bad way, and we thought of ourselves as a Div 1 guy or a Div 2 guy, unintentionally straying away from the nature of the liberal arts. I believe it's the modern value system that creates this line of thinking. Our society is focused on money and prestige. While these aren't wholly bad values, the courses of study that garner more money and power in the future are the most lauded. Those that don't necessarily achieve the same ends are seen as inferior. I can tell you firsthand that this isn't the case. As a theater major going to medical school, I've studied and interacted with just as many incredibly thoughtful and brilliant humanities students as I have STEM students. The major issue I have with the hierarchy of academic studies is that it too often incites fear and goes against what Wabash is all about. It's contrary to why we came here and why the liberal arts will continue to benefit us in the future. Wabash is a place to leave your comfort zone and fail miserably along the path to success. If we ever subscribe to this aforementioned hierarchy, we will go against our nature and discourage students from leaving their comfort zone out of the fear that they will somehow be invalid. Risks, as Ephraim said, are important in learning, and they play a large role in the liberal arts. By coming here, you made a choice to be a multidisciplinary student. Whether you understood what that would mean or not, you've had an opportunity to discover your passions here. Wabash is really the only place that gave me the freedom to explore all of my interests. I continually made myself uncomfortable, in the best sense. Looking back, my experience would have been very different if I had not. For example, I didn't know if I was interested in global health, but I still dove into the program which took me to Peru and provided a creative outlet for all of my healthcare interests. Because of its foundation in the liberal arts, Wabash is a place to make yourself uncomfortable and to take on aspects that are entirely foreign to you. Things haven't always worked out for us in the process, but that's okay. I wasn't sure if I was going to audition for Guys and Dolls 4 years ago, and now I've performed in 9 plays at the college. This also led me to major in theater, which has taken me to New York and London as a result. On my most recent immersion trip to New York, I reconnected on a whim with the woman that is now my fiancée. Granted, the first time we went out, I turned back into the nervous 14-year-old boy that she remembered from high school. But somehow she looked past that and we just went for it. The point of these anecdotes is to say that just as we've not let our predispositions hinder us in any way or completely define us at Wabash, we must also carry that same exploratory, multidimensional outlook into the real world. After all, this is why liberal arts graduates will not lose their jobs to robots. The liberal arts have continually made us uncomfortable and stretched because that's where the growth happens. The world is ever-changing and unforgiving, gentlemen. Likewise, in the next 2 weeks, all throughout the country, students just like us will be donning a cap and gown and walking across a platform. Our current situation is not unique. However, our preparation for what comes after will be, but only if we continue to exercise the vital principles of the liberal arts to leave our comfort zone and accommodate alternative points of view. Intolerance has never had a place in our circles. As you know, the tremendous value in different disciplines and opinions from all the disagreements you've likely had with your classmates. Gentlemen, I know this seems like an almost insurmountable challenge, to attempt to alleviate the strain of the world through the liberal arts. But if you continue to expand these areas and grow, I have no doubt that you will be successful, and most importantly, you will lead a happy and fulfilling life. We're Wabash alumni now, gentlemen, and we must continue to embody the liberal arts qualities of this institution, as our responsibility to the mission statement doesn't end off campus. We must continue to think critically, we must act responsibly, lead effectively, and we must live humanely. And if we do this, we just might prevent the inevitable. Robots taking over the world. Thank you, and congratulations again to my Wabash brethren in the class of 2018.
this again, right? Okay. That's on. Let's the choir get out of the way.
Mr. President.
Mr. Secretary.
Mr. President, it is my honor to present John Z Schrader so that you might bestow on him the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. John C. Schrader, your college relishes the opportunity to thank you for all you have meant to its students, faculty, staff, and alumni throughout your life. You serve as a model of selfless generosity and unwavering commitment to those people and institutions you cherish. The son of a great Wabash man, John H. Schrader, class of 42, you made your own path through Wabash, majoring in economics, participating in Blue Key, and active service in the Speakers Bureau. After earning your MBA, you returned to Evansville to work tirelessly in your family's business, Wabash Plastics and Crescent Plastics. Your employees admire your commitment to them and to their city, which you have strengthened through your leadership and philanthropy. You know most of your employees by name and support them through difficult times in their lives. They know where you stand, they know where they stand with you. There isn't a disingenuous bone in your body. Your love and affection for Wabash is unwavering. 3 Wabash presidents, Andy Ford, Pat White, and myself, respect your wisdom, attention to detail, self-deprecating humor, and dedication to our college. Each president appreciates your unfailing loyalty to the best vision of what Wabash can be for its students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Your voice has never been the loudest in the room. Your influence is most often felt in private meetings and in close conversations about the highest aspirations for our college. Like your businesses and employees, you care for Wabash with the truest sense of ownership, which requires intimate knowledge and genuine love. As longtime board chairman Steve Bowen said, you understand that everything you have achieved in life is a gift, that you are fortunate, and you take full responsibility for giving back to strengthen Wabash for future generations. You have consistently supported the college's enrollment efforts by hosting annual events and doing the handshake-to-handshake recruiting work that helps identify the best and brightest young men in and around Evansville. Together with Diane, you have endowed programs that allow our students to study abroad in Harlexton, England, and our faculty to have international teaching and learning experiences there as well. And even as a proud and loyal member of Phi Gamma Delta, you invested mightily in our new student housing initiative to further strengthen the college. You and Diane have supported and sustained our nationally ranked Schrader Center for Career Development, which honors your father's legacy. Since your election to the Wabash College Board of Trustees in 1994, you have been a constant source of inspiration for Wabash students, its faculty and staff, and your fellow trustees. That you are at once concerned about the recruitment of future Wabash men, the critical opportunities and experiences they have while they are here, and that they are prepared to go out into the world to make a life and living, shows the breadth of your commitment and the depth of your generosity. John, for loving, supporting, and caring deeply for your alma mater, and for honoring Wabash through deeds and actions of your daily life, we salute you. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegated to that board by the great state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, of which this citation shall be a permanent witness. Sure, got the right one here. Thanks, John. Thank you for all you've done for the college. God bless you, John.
Mr. President.
Here we go. And here is the final piece.
Mr. President.
Mr. Secretary.
Mr. President, it is my honor to present Remington Allen Johnston III, so that you might bestow upon him the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. Remington Allen Johnston III. It is with great pleasure and admiration, and of course some humor, that we honor you for your lifetime commitment to your alma mater. You have always loved Wabash deeply. It's your heritage. Your father, class of 1927, and grandfather, class of 1901, were Wabash men. Wabash is in your blood, and you have lived that heritage your entire life. You majored in political science and minored in economics, and remain a proud and loyal member of Sigma Chi. Upon graduation from Wabash in 1955, you earned a printing degree from Carnegie Mellon. After 8 years in Dallas, you returned to Bluffton, Indiana in 1964 to lead your family's printing company. You were and remain an enormous fan and supporter of Wabash athletics, earning the affectionate nickname, the Big Cookie. You were given that name for assisting Little Giants teams on their road trips over 3 decades. You were the advanced man who gathered the hotel keys and placed large bakery cookies and apples on every player's pillow so they'd have a snack after a long road trip. Over the course of 2 generations, you were the most prolific alumni recruiter for Wabash College, helping hundreds of young men find their way here from Northeast Indiana. You were effective because you were unafraid to show how much you cared and were unabashed in your commitment to the college. Scores of alumni recall your willingness to take people in and stay connected with them throughout their lives. In good times and bad, you inspire confidence in Wabash men from your first-hand shake through life's greatest challenges. You invited many hundreds of Wabash men to sumptuous meals during which you taught them lessons in classical music, travel, theater, and very fast cars. While you had no children of your own, it would be impossible to count the number of Wabash alumni who call you their surrogate father. From 1970 until 1995, you attended every Wabash football game, home and away, except for a single game in 1970 when your father passed away. Fans remember your constant presence on the sidelines, usually with a camera, to capture the game's greatest memories. It should be noted, though, that generations of Wabash custodians also cursed you, Big Cookie, for the tens of thousands of playful, poetic, and sometimes sarcastic bumper stickers you created and distributed in support of Wabash athletics, pumped out of your very own print shop. Those bumper stickers, many of which are in my office, praised athletic triumphs and predicted stunning upsets. Your service to Wabash includes terms on the Board of Trustees and the NAWM Board of Directors. You earned our Alumni Award of Merit in 1971, received a Sagamore of the Wabash from Governor Robert Orr in 1983, and were inducted in the Wabash Athletics Hall of Fame in 1997. For the last 25 years, your passion has been golf and traveling to warm weather sites wherever Wabash alumni live, to play 18 holes with old friends. Just this past winter, you shot your age, which is something all golfers aspire to. Wabash has been heralded for its passionate and hardworking alumni network for nearly 2 centuries. Few Wabash men ever have embodied the loyalty, dedication, and love of our college more than you. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegates that board by the great state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, of which this citation shall be a permanent witness. Congratulations, Rem. Thanks for all you do for the college. God bless you, Rem. Thank you. Make sure this one's yours. They got out of order. This is for you. Congratulations.
Mr. President.
Mr. Secretary.
Mr. President, it's my honor to present John N. Fox, Jr., so that you might bestow on him the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you. John N. Fox, Jr., we are honored to lift you up in front of these talented graduates as a sterling example of the breadth, depth, and worth of a Wabash liberal arts education. A member of Beta Theta Pi and the Glee Club, you majored in political science and minored in economics at Wabash. You got your start at Cummins Engine Company, but would soon join Touche Ross as a strategy and operations consultant. An MBA from the University of Michigan would follow, as would partner status at Deloitte Consulting by 1976. It was obvious early in your career that your gifts of mission-driven, strategic thinking would be of great benefit to the scores of clients you served in a 35 career at Deloitte. As managing partner for the Detroit and Chicago offices, and for the firm's acquisitions and mergers practice, global managing director, and finally, vice chairman of the firm. You served your alma mater as president of the National Association of Wabash Men during what was then an audacious $32 million capital campaign. You were appointed to the Board of Trustees in 1986, making you the longest-serving current member of the college's Board of Trustees, and you show no signs of slowing down. Over the arc of your time as a trustee, you have served as a committee chair multiple times and chaired a presidential search committee. Today, we honor you for your positive impact on the past results, present course, and future of your beloved Wabash. You have a keen intellect and an open, ever-learning mind, which, coupled with your vast experience and collaborative spirit, have helped chart the course for our college for decades. You worked closely with President Andrew Ford and Trustee David Shane to develop our college's very first strategic plan. In doing so, you articulated our core values and strategy, at once both aspirational and realistic, wrapped tightly by our enduring mission. Dave Shane says, "It is because of you that the college has known all these years and will know all in the future, why it exists, what it values, where it is going, and how it will arrive there. You have done this careful, strategic work when Wabash needed it most, during the financial upheaval of a decade ago, and through times of transition in leadership. In leading the college's strategy committee, you studied technology, social and demographic trends, and data to chart a course for the college, and laid a firm foundation of which our current planning has been built. You are a man of exceptional and great integrity, and have always put your college first. You and Kathy sustained the Will Hayes Jr. Visiting Writers Fund, which has brought to this campus some of the greatest writers in the world for residencies that allow our students to truly learn and know from the very best. John, the world is a better place because of the caring work of Wabash College, and Wabash is a better college because of the care and attention which you have given it throughout your life. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegated to that board by the great state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, of which this citation shall be a permanent witness. Congratulations, John. God bless you, John. Thanks for all you do for the college. Thank you. God bless you. This as well. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. Secretary.
it is now my great honor to present to you the Wabash College class of 2018. Woo. So that you may confer upon them the in-course degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Thank you. Gentlemen of the class of Wabash College class of 2018, you have fulfilled the requirements of graduation from this college. You have overcome obstacles, persevered in difficult times, and shined brightly in all aspects of your endeavors. You have made all of us who have taught, mentored, and guided you very proud of what you have accomplished in these sacred halls, in athletic competition, and in your creative and scholarly pursuits around the world. Here's the moment, everyone. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wabash College and delegated to that board by the great state of Indiana, I do hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Now it is my distinct honor to invite you to come forward to be honored as graduates of our great college.
Jonathan Alcala Torres. Alexis Victor Arellano. Devin Tyler Atkins. Hayden Richard Bale. Stephen Matthew Bazin. Shane Robert Beeman. Austin J. Belden. Derek Austin Benge. Alec Dwayne Birch. Zachary David Biddle. Robert Raymond Bloom. Andrew Lawrence Brake. Dylan Neal Burrish. Taylor Wayne Cantor. Ross William Catalano. Omar B. Chavez. Oscar Eduardo Chavez. Ephraim Thomas Shadid. Taylor Mikhail Chilton. Tyler Dalton Cooper. Jacob Glenn Cotty. Joshua Douglas Covert. Kirby Thomas Allen Cox. Austin Thomas Crosley. Chase Anthony Crow. Herman Cruz. Darian Alexander Dardis.
You go.
Daniel James DeGrice. Joshua Ryan Dursey. Alexander Nicholas Dickey. Spase Dorsuleski. Tyler C. Downing. Austin Scott Ellingwood. Jose Guadalupe Estrada. Matthew Jameson Fahey. Meng Fan in absentia. Matthew James Ford. Clay Edward Fullenkamp. Lee Cao in absentia. Benjamin Hewitt Geyer. Taylor John George. George Nathan Go. Eskiel John Godinez. Javis Winit Gonzalez. Grant Logan Goff. Colin Reed Graber. William Dane Gray. Brian Franklin Gregory. Kevin Lamar Griffin. Andrew J.F. Hamilton, Jr. Joseph Hayden Hapak. Cole Michael Harlicker. Justin Lee Harmison. Kenneth Rich Harnden III. Austin T. Harrison. Ross Elliott Harvey in absentia. Corey Dell Hawk. Cole Daniel Hickman. Hunter Payne Hickman. Brian G. Hicks. Mitchell Paul Homan. Mason Ivan Hooper. Hank Montford Horner. Lavelle Lee Hughes. Anton Cyril Hummel. Kirill Ivashenko. Patrick Ryan Yankee. David Daniel Johnson. Audie Thomas Kaufman. Sean Tengshen Koo. Timothy Lee Kilburn, Jr. Daniel Calvin Kimball. Logan James Kleiman. Mitchell Edmund Crum. Lucas Samuel Seniak. John Vincent Joseph Lang in absentia. Zachary Bennett Leander. Timothy Everett Leith. Nathan Michael Lewis. Waity Lynn in absentia. Norman Forrest Lowry. Stephen Eugene Lucy. Jacob Michael Miller. Emmanuel Elijah Mitchell Shodipe. Daniel Augustin Malloy. Jonathan Fabian Montoya. Chandler Clayton Moore. Nicholas Bannon Morin. Nolan Robert Morse. Kevin Thomas Murphy. Noah John Newcomb. Gabriel Jimu Murray. Scott William Ogle. Herman Padilla in absentia. Luke Christopher Page. Anthony Michael Pasquale. Thakarian Payton. An Te Pham. Nicholas David Pollock. Samuel Eugene Reel. William Everett Reifeis. Dakota Kyler Rhodes. Brian Jonathan Rice. Carlos Alejandro Rios. Jonathan Jose Rodriguez. Jacob Ray Ream. Douglas Andrew Rourke. Irfanullah Darwish Salah. Aaron Bruce Scott. William Nicholas Shaw. Deontay Kamar Simpson. Corey Jackson Sims. Henry Joseph Swift. Logan Andrew Taylor. Adrian Enrique Tejeda. Dejan Gere Thomas. Nicholas Alexander Torres. Francisco Javier Trejo. Gage Andrew Ullery. Samuel Thomas Andrew Watts. Henry Bernard Weberhunt. Jacob Riley Woodward. Robert Allen Wunderlich III. Tianhao Yang in absentia. Zachary Michael Anderson, cum laude. Darren Michael DeRome, cum laude. John Heron Dotlich, cum laude. Calvin Lane Fichter, cum laude. Levi Brett Garrison, cum laude. Jordan Eric Hansen, cum laude. Jonathan Alexander Hartley, cum laude. Lucas Dale Holstein, cum laude. Benjamin Daniel Johnson, cum laude. William Francis Kelly, cum laude. Casimir Joshua Coring, cum laude. Stoyan Kristeski, cum laude. Tyler John Mix, cum laude. Aslan Munir, cum laude. Brian Michael Parks, cum laude. Parker Scott Redelman, cum laude. Timothy Joseph Riley, cum laude. Brian Allen Roberts, cum laude. Ryan Scott Walters, cum laude. Joseph Jean Walters, cum laude. Jacob Alec Alanis, magna cum laude. Daniel George Azar, magna cum laude. Zachary Charles Bleesh, magna cum laude. Jacob Andrew Butler, magna cum laude. Tung Tan Bui, magna cum laude. Satchel Young Burton, magna cum laude, in absentia. Zachary Robert Campbell, magna cum laude. Cody Douglas Cochran, magna cum laude. Jacob Daniel Covert, magna cum laude. Joseph Mark Deerdorf II, magna cum laude. Jade Spencer Doty, magna cum laude. Benjamin Sidney Michael Elliott, magna cum laude. Samuel Jacob Gellen, magna cum laude. Michael Paul Gore, magna cum laude. Cody William Grzybowski, magna cum laude. Luke Daniel Gunderman, magna cum laude. Preston Joseph Hadley, magna cum laude. Marcus Charles P. Hoekstra, magna cum laude. James Michael Jennings, magna cum laude. Adam Joel Cashin, magna cum laude. Nikki Luke Kazahaya, magna cum laude. Patrick David Kenny, magna cum laude. Michael Thomas Krutz, magna cum laude. Huang Lekong, magna cum laude. Michael Edwin King Lumpkin, magna cum laude. Anthony Warren Mosman, magna cum laude. Colby Stephen Meyer, magna cum laude. Benjamin Christopher Page, magna cum laude. Zachary Richard Patton, magna cum laude. Joseph Michael Pick, magna cum laude. Braden Thomas Quackenbush, magna cum laude. Joseph Stephen Riley, magna cum laude. Christopher Roman, magna cum laude. Zachary Michael Scarano, magna cum laude. Connor Ray Smith, magna cum laude. Rodolfo Solis, magna cum laude. Aaron Dallas Tincher, magna cum laude. An Viet Tran, magna cum laude. David Alexander Bavernak, magna cum laude. Jonah Christopher Woods, magna cum laude. Wei Zhong, magna cum laude. Zachary David Carl, summa cum laude. Jared Timothy Cunningham, summa cum laude. Nigel N.C. Dow, summa cum laude. Simon Luke Dowdy, summa cum laude. Derek Andrew Fox, summa cum laude. Jeffrey Keith Houston, summa cum laude. Jack William Kellerman, summa cum laude. Taylor Christian King, summa cum laude. Min Quan Letien, summa cum laude. Charles Andrew Mettler, summa cum laude in absentia. Nathan Allen Muha, summa cum laude. Colin William Rinney, summa cum laude. Dominic Michael Rivers, summa cum laude. Samuel Joseph Sergalski, summa cum laude.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018, let's hear it for them all. Give a chance. Well, it's not rained on me yet, so we better get this going. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Endings are not easy, gentlemen. Thankfully, that is not why we are here today. The traditional time of commencement is springtime, just as new plantings are taking root and as new plans and hopes emerge. Spring is a time to celebrate renewal and the future, and today's warm weather brings new life into our souls, tired by a long gray winter and long gray spring. Surprisingly, this time of commencement seems to sidestep the inconvenient truth that we are marrying the end of one aspect of your life with the beginning of a new one. This blending of the new and the old, this connection between yesterday and tomorrow, this metamorphosis defines your Wabash journey from ringing in to ringing out. Be assured, gentlemen, that your Wabash education has provided you with the simple gifts you need to find your way, to make good and to do good, to find meaning and purpose in life, and to celebrate it. Not just to be men, but to be good men, very good men. Your liberal arts education has equipped you to act, to see, and to speak. We taught you the tools of education, to think critically, to read and write clearly, to solve and reflect, and to immerse yourselves in your surroundings and your inner lives, and to help you identify your authentic selves. We gave you the keen eye of a Wabash education that you might see diverse points of view and to be challenged by them, augmenting your own point of view and leaving you changed but undisturbed. We coaxed you to write your own story, to live up to the gentleman's rule, and to act, lead, and live and think. And you have written glorious chapters in the history of our great college. Your efforts on stage, in the classroom, and on the athletic fields have earned you high national rankings and brought honor to your alma mater. We will remember your achievements because of you. Wabash is a better college than when it was before you arrived 4 years ago. Do you remember the 4 gets not to forget? Get to work, get involved, get to sleep, and get help. It spells the word wish. It was my wish for you. Don't forget those 4 gets, because they actually also apply to life after college as well. But as you leave Wabash, I want you to think about the 4 gives, not the 4 gets. The first one is to give thanks. You have mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, spouses, partners, and friends who are all here just for you. They are here to celebrate you. Don't forget throughout your life to celebrate them and give thanks to those around you. I now ask the families of our graduates to please stand so that these young men can give you a warm round of applause. The second give is give back. Our day of giving here at Wabash took place a month ago. It was a day when we celebrated the philanthropy of alumni and friends who support the college. These generous people supported you because someone else supported them. That's how one generation passes the torch to the next. But here's the secret in life, everyone. Life is not just one day of giving. It's about every day of giving. So give back to those around you every day. And let me personally thank you for spearheading the effort to have 100% student participation on our day of giving. That's a great way to start giving back. Of course, sometimes you just have to give it forward. That's the third give. Be generous to those who are standing outside your circle and bring them into your circle. Expand your notion of self-interest and you will see your lives flourish in ways you could never imagine. The final give is to give notice, Wabash men. You have arrived. You are smart. You are directed, passionate, and compassionate. You have swagger. Don't lose it. Don't ever lose it. Wabash always fights will be your mantra for life. Be bold. You have everything the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and the Lion were looking for. Brains, heart, and courage. And you also have what Dorothy was searching for all along. Always know that Wabash College is your home. There will never, ever be a place like it for you in your entire life. Gentlemen, the class of 2018, please rise. It is my honor and privilege to be with you, to have taken part in your joys and sorrows, hopes and dreams, victories and defeats as your brother, and to witness your shared lives with one another. Know that ultimately, the greatest education and the greatest gift we gave you at this college was each other. And you will need that gift because while your future will be graced with moments of unspeakable joy and beauty, it will also be tested by sorrow and pain. Be strong, seek strength from one another. You have been and will continue to be each other's epistles, which can never be taken away. Now go forth, gentlemen of Wabash, and leave this place with pride in your accomplishments and confidence that you will make a difference in this world and be good, very good Wabash men.
From the hills of Maine to the western plain, or where the cotton is blowing, in the gloomy shade of the northern pine to the light of the southern seas, there's a name held dear and a color we cheer wherever we find it glowing. The tears shall rise for a longing eyes that floats on the evening breeze. When the day is done and the western sun is painting in flashing glory across the skies in gorgeous dyes, the color we love so well. We love to sit as the shadows split and praise it in song and story. We love to shout as the light dies out a good old Wabash yell. Our prayers are always thine, our voices combine to sing our praise in future days shall breathe that day before us. When college days are past, the life shall last. Our greatest joy will be to shout the chorus. Dear old Wabash, thy loyal sons shall ever love thee, and o'er the classic halls thy scarlet flag shall proudly flash. Long in our hearts we'll bear the sweetest memories of thee. Long shall we sing thy praises, old Wabash. And loud and long shall echo the song, the hill and valley are ringing, and spread the fame of our honored name wherever the breezes blow. Till sweet and clear the world shall hear the sons of Wabash singing, and flying free the world shall see our scarlet banner go. The honors of life's loyal son in highest rank shall stay forevermore as the days of yore, their deeds be noble and grand. Then once again ye Wabash men, three cheers for alma mater, whatever fall revered by all, may she unequal stand. Our prayers are always thine, our voices combine to sing thy praise in future days shall be thy name before us. For college days are past, the life shall last. Our greatest joy will be to shout the chorus. Dear old Wabash, thy loyal sons shall ever love thee, and o'er the classic halls thy scarlet flag shall proudly flash. Long in our hearts we'll bear the sweetest memories of thee. Long shall we sing thy praises, O Wabash.
Seniors, please let us bless you. As you leave this campus, this zip code, this time zone, you will not leave our hearts. In coming years, may your greatest worry be whether it may rain on your big day. May your fondest memories be of each other and of what you have together become. May your greatest joys be the anticipation of the beautiful and just things your gifts will make possible. And may your strongest desires be for the mending of this glorious but fragile creation. We cherish and celebrate you. In the name of God Almighty. Amen.